Good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Hopefully, your weekend, if you're off work, is off to a good start. Man, that thing's killing me. Didn't mean to point that out, but daggone, glasses rubbed me a spot. Anyhow, just sitting here at the RV park enjoying a pipe, beverage. Mm. Unfinished Savinelli 673. I burned the hell. Does anybody else do that? Is it just me? I tend to char the hell out of the rim. Not on all pipes, but on this pipe for some reason I did. I don't know if it's a 673 design or what. I don't know. Let me know. Had an excellent day today. Excellent day today. So I did nothing. Read my book. Almost done with it. Cool book. Cool thoughts in here. Cool thoughts. It talks a lot about mindset, right? Mindset. How do you get out of your head and get into your life is really the title of the book. Besides unf yourself, it's really not. It's not that book that tells you envision you're a tiger. You're a tiger. It's not that kind of book. It does talk a lot about subconscious and your psyche and how you think of yourself and how that translates into your everyday thought, how we're really built to win. We're really built to win. Really, the only thing stopping us is us. And the book talks a lot about that, whether you want to lose weight, whether it's a job promotion, whether it's a relationship issue, whether you're trying to meet somebody, you're in a bad relationship, whatever. It really talks about, just getting rid of excuses and things of that nature. It's all really in our head, and which I find fascinating. I find psychology and things of the nature very fascinating, because we all are typically our own worst enemy. If you're not, then good for you. The rest of us probably are. So, but it talks, one of the things that struck me in the book, and I won't preach about the book, I'll get off that in a second, is instead of saying I'm going to or I will, it's talking about I'm willing statements. Either I'm willing to or I'm not willing to. And really focusing on that instead of just focusing on, making proclamations or New Year's Day resolutions or whatever, but, just committing to, am I willing to do this or am I not willing to do it? When you think about 30 minutes of exercise, I dread it. I don't like everybody else. I dread it. When you really think about it, it's 30 minutes of your day, right? So it's just something you got to get out of your mind and get back into. Are you willing to commit 30 minutes of your day for better health? But enough about that book. Didn't mean to get preachy about it. Enjoying some old Gowrie tonight. So, dang, this pipe smoking. What's so cool about it is how our tastes change. I was the biggest Virginia guy, and all my top blends were Virginias. And now I'm an English guy, more or less. Don't get me wrong, this old Gowrie's good. Really good Virginia. And it's Virginia, Kentucky, and Perique. But the Virginia stands out. The Kentucky doesn't blast you, and neither does the Perique. So it's not like Bayou Morning. Man, I tried that Bayou Morning. I put that thing away. It was all right when I smoked it, but as the day progressed, and I just didn't care for it. If you're a Bayou Morning fan, let me know. I've got a tin with one bowl out of it, I'd be happy to send you, because I'm not going to smoke it. But that daggone Virginia's, man, or the Englishes, my Northwoods, and now Maltese Falcon, Squadron Leader. I mean, those are tough to beat. But it's a great Virginia. So if you're a Virginia fan, or if you're just into aromatics and you want to get out of aromatics and you want to try just a straight tobacco, get you a 10 of old Gowrie. That's a good step up from aromatic into just natural tasting tobacco, because it's what it is. It's not cased, it's not flavored. So sitting here again, the RV park, took the dogs, drug them for a couple-mile walk today. They weren't fans, but tough crap. Do what you got to do, dogs. We walked around the lake. Was going to do a fire tonight, but couldn't really find a fire ring. I'm going to have to order a portable one from Amazon. Most places we camp have fire pits. This one is the only one that doesn't, but they said you feel free to put a fire ring out there if you want to. Went to Walmart, they didn't really have anything, and went to Camping World, and they tried to sell me something that was $140. It just hooked to propane, and didn't want that. Then they tried to sell me a $90 fire pit, but not that I'm opposed to paying that, but gosh darn it, man, I'm only going to use it tonight and tomorrow. I don't think so. So we'll wait and maybe order one of those portable fire rings. They fold up and collapse. I think they're $30 on Amazon. That'd be much better. We'll miss some Buckeye. I'll head out tomorrow. We'll have a night together, or day together. She's worked all week, but man, this is what the doctor ordered. Got a nice nap in today. Read my book. Got a nice walk in this evening. Today has been beautiful. You couldn't script a better camping day. The only thing that you would be better to just top it off would be able to have a fire tonight. I probably could figure something out, but I'm not going to mess with it. I don't want to make them mad. It's a pretty nice place. I want y'all to remind me, though, when I get older than I am, and start driving one of those big diesel pushers, one of those, I don't know if I'll ever get one of those, but daggone, some of those things are $500,000. There's one parked by me now that's probably every bit of $200,000-300,000. But anyhow, remind me to be personable to folks if I get into that. This camping lifestyle is really like that, man. You meet some of the coolest people in the world camping, and you'll meet some of the biggest jackasses in the world camping. And I'm not saying the people next to me are jackasses, but they just came home, parked their car, walked right past me, didn't say good evening, good night, goodbye, screw you, nothing. Didn't even make eye contact, didn't even look over. Almost like their noses in the air, but whatever. But I've met some super cool people too. We were camping in Michigan. Where were we? We were right on we're on this river. Altonac, maybe was the campground, somewhere like that. I can't remember the name. But met this little old lady. She was 70-something, and she drove one of those big diesel pushers. Her husband couldn't drive anymore. Her husband was kind of, I don't know that he was bound to the RV, but he didn't come out. I think her name was Gail. Coolest lady, man. She came over and had coffee with us one morning. She's 70. Cussing like a sailor, and telling about how she drives around in her big RV, how she's got guns in her RV in case anybody breaks in. Just was just a really down to earth, just funny lady, not snobby at all. Probably driving a $500,000 diesel pusher. Um, it's an expensive hobby if we all think, and pipe smoking is too, right? But if you're ever at a camp show, you get a chance to go to one of those camp shows or RV shows, do it just to make a day out of it, even if you don't want to buy one. Um, Go in some of those big diesel pushers. They've got granite countertops. They've got fireplaces. They are loaded, loaded. Some of them, like I said, will get up near $500,000. A lot of folks, that's what they do. They'll sell their house and they'll buy that and they'll pay, basically their mortgage is their mobile home. And then from there, I mean, it's not cheap. You have to pay, basically for any campground you go to, you're going to have to pay nightly fees unless you're a seasonal member. I was talking to one of our YTPC brothers today. We were talking campers. He gave me a shout and gave me a call. Was asking some questions. And, campsites, depending on where you go, it can range from $25-$30 a night to $100 a night. You look at seasonal sites, those daggone seasonal sites at a really nice campground could run you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for the season. And it's not even an all-year season. Usually they cut it off and only, down south it's probably all year, but up north it usually went from March until October, end of October. You could leave your camper there all year, but they cut the utilities off usually after a certain time frame, especially the water, so it didn't freeze. But the way to go if you're going to do this, unless you're independently wealthy, is you can be what's called a camp host. And a camp host, basically, is a cool deal. You usually have one of the nicer spots, a little bug, one of the nicer spots in the campground. And you do limited things for the campground. You might mow the grass. You might, a lot of camp hosts, especially in the state parks, will host like a Saturday or a Sunday get together and have a coffee hour, maybe from like 8 to 10. And you're responsible to go buy some Danish and brew the coffee, and all the people get together and do that. Little things like that. A lot of camp hosts will, after hours, they'll be the one you check in with. If we were pulling our camper in, and we've done this before, but if you're pulling your camper in and you're going to show up at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, you just got a late start or whatever the case might be, so you might check in with the camp host. Or even sometimes the state parks will close down at 4 or 5, and even if you get there at 6 or 7, it's still daylight in the summer, obviously. You might check in with the camp host. But the camp host usually either gets a free site or a very, very, very discounted site for the work they do. And it just depends on the campground. And a lot of the camp hosts, you could be there, again, depends on the state and depends on the campground, but you might be there 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2. So it's really the way to go. My father-in-law was going to do that. They just got a new fifth wheel, so they may still do that. It's really the way to go to get your site paid for. Do a little bit of minimum work, a little bit of maintenance, maybe, whatever the campground needs. but it's cool. It's very cool. So, still surprised. I'm looking around and there's still a couple sites here that are open. They're supposedly sold out this weekend. Now, my neighbors behind me, super cool people. They're driving a diesel pusher, but yesterday they came over and introduced themselves. They're in town for a Methodist, Methodist Church convention. And gentleman's name was Fred. Super cool. He was asking me about my camper and talking about the weight and all that other stuff, and was telling me him and his wife have only been married about a year, and this is an elderly couple, but both of their houses were hit by the hurricane last September, and they're both still displaced. Neither one of their houses or their homes are fixed. So, hell, we talked about the North Carolina hurricane before Mrs. Buckeye and I moved to North Carolina. We moved here in October. That hurricane hit in September. So here we are, damn near a year later, and there's still people out of their homes. They've got a nice camper, so they've been making the best of it. But he's like, John, we own 2 homes. We own 2 homes. We can't even live in either one of them. How crazy is that? It's little things you don't think of, right? You just don't think of, wow, that hurricane was dang near a year ago, and there's probably still some people impacted. We like to, the Puerto Rico hurricane was what, 2 years ago? Damn well guarantee there's people still impacted down there. But the news has moved on and told us different things to hate and different people to be despised at and how to think and feel if you follow the liberal media. Don't get me started on that. But real people impacted by real life stuff. But they were super cool. Come over and talk to me and met the dogs and loved on them. And that's the kind of people you'll meet out of these campgrounds, are just down to earth people. But then there's the other people that are just, they're just snobs. And I guess that's anywhere you go in life, right? Is you'll see those kind of people both. I've met people camping that, man, they'll get out and move a picnic table for you, or hell, they would jump in your truck and help you back in if you needed it. They were that nice, or they'd guide you or give you directions or help you back in, whatever. And I've met people that just sit there and watch and just, I don't know, that laugh's probably not the right word, but they just don't give a damn. If you run something over, they don't care. But I don't want to discourage anybody. The camping lifestyle is fantastic. You will meet 2 or 3 to 1 great people as opposed to jackasses. Maybe 4 to 1. There's a lot more great people than there are jackasses. And it's fun talking to the old dudes. They just want to talk about campers and, what you got under there? What kind of engine? You got auto levelers? And they'll go on and on. Those old men will go on and on talking about their campers and what they got in them and what they do and state-of-the-art stuff. I can't keep this thing lit. I'm doing too much talking. Anyhow, daggone, 20 minutes. I've ranted quite a bit. But it's nice to talk to somebody besides the dogs. So cool. Anyhow, I'll jump off here, maybe jump on a house party, see if anybody's over there. But just wanted to come on and say hey, and happy Friday. And it was just an amazing day. Perfect weather, perfect everything. You couldn't ask for a better camping day than this. In the 70s, sunny, and it's almost a bit cool right now. I mean, you could wear a pair of jeans and a hoodie and be comfortable. almost a bit cool. So anyhow, if you stuck with me for 20 minutes, thank you. Appreciate you. And I hope you're well. Hope your Friday's treating you well. If you're done working, if you're not done working, or if you work this weekend, then I hope that goes smoothly and you enjoy your next time off with your family or loved ones. But have a great night, everybody. May catch you on house party if you're around. And we'll see you next time. Stay safe out there and wishing you all the blessings in the world. We'll catch you later.